right. So just a little recap. We have been doing taxation as a whole. So the last 3 lessons, we were looking at personal taxation. So if you are new here, you will be able to check the past videos that you can go through on the Watobe website. So today we will be focusing mainly on VAT and UIF. So I know one person did reply to me saying that they've started VAT in class. So hopefully you guys are also roughly there, or you've done it already or about to do it. Okay, so let's have a quick look. Who remembers what VAT stands for? This is a very common question. I've seen it in quite a few past papers. VAT stands for value added tax. Well done. That was a very quick response. Okay, so please remember this answer. I have seen it being asked so many times in your final papers, value added tax, and it's generally for 2 marks. So it's an easy 2 marks. Okay, good, you two. That gave me the answer. So then just a little bit of information. All goods and services are subjected to VAT. Remember, VAT is 15%. You need to know that off by heart. It's 15%, unless it is 0 rated or exempt from tax. So a few items that would be exempt from tax are your basic necessities, for example. So if you go to the shops, quite often you will see on your till slip, there's a little asterisk next to some of your items, which means that has not been added to it because it's seen as a necessity and not a luxury item. Okay, so I want you to have a look at this quick little activity. Go through the list and let me know which ones are not 0 rated. So what wouldn't be considered a necessity? So there are 3 in this list that are not a necessity, and VAT will be added to them. Good. Olive oil is a popular one. Yes, because that is a luxury, olive oil. I see pre-cut fruit. That's also a great answer, because pre-cut fruit isn't a necessity. That's a luxury. Yes, ayabonga white bread's also a good one. Pre-cut fruit has come through again. Okay, so I think we've identified the 3 that are not 0 rated. So that means rice will be exempt from VAT. Maize meal will be exempt, milk powder, samp, and fresh vegetables. Also fresh fruit, just not the pre-cut fruit. Okay, so these are basic necessity items. So in the test, they can ask you to give a few examples of items that would be 0 rated. So you can name any of these. Yeah, so just keep in mind, it can't be a luxury item. Okay, in terms of bread, brown bread would be 0 rated. White bread isn't. Okay. Then going on to actual VAT calculations. We come across VAT in 3 ways, okay? We could be asked to work out the VAT of something. So VAT is charged at 15%. We can be asked to work out the VAT inclusive amount, or we've been given the VAT inclusive amount. That means VAT has already been added to the amount. And then the VAT exclusive amount means that VAT must still be added to the amount. Okay, and the VAT exclusive can also be known as the original amount, the original price of something before VAT has been added. Okay, so it kind of is in the name, VAT inclusive. VAT has already been included in that price. VAT exclusive means we still need to add VAT to it. Okay, then we've got some important calculations that you need to know. So to work out the VAT amount, you take the exclusive amount and you times by 15%. Okay, the exclusive, so the actual original amount, and you times it by 15%. And that will give you how much VAT needs to be added. VAT inclusive, so if you get a question and they say the original amount of this product costs so-and-so, please work out the VAT inclusive amount, you will take that value and you times by 115%, or you can do the long method. I will explain the long method when we look at a practice question now. And then to work out the VAT exclusive or the original amount, you take your inclusive amount and you divide by 115%. So all you need to remember mainly here is when are you timesing by 115% and when are you dividing by 115%. Okay, so 3 calculations you need to remember. So let's have a look at a practice question. So it says, if an item costs 460 Rand and 86 cents, excluding VAT, determine A, the VAT amount, and B, the amount including VAT. Okay, so the key thing here to look at is that they gave us the exclusive amount. So VAT has not been added. So A, how would we work out the VAT amount? What would we do? Can let me know in the chat. How do we work out the VAT amount? VAT amount. Nice. Okay, so we're going to take the amount that we've been given, which is the exclusive amount, and we times by 15%. So 460. Wrote that wrong. Times 15%. Okay, or you can say times by 15 over 100, same thing. Okay, once you do that, you get an answer of 69 Rand and 13 cents. Don't forget to put your decimals in, because whenever we deal with money, we need to have 2 decimal places, always. Doesn't matter what topic we're looking at. If money is involved, we need 2 decimal places. Okay, just want to check the chat here. Okay, good. Steffi, Siwa, Bukansho, yes, guys. And Ayabonga, well done, guys. Good answers. Okay, so that's just working out how much VAT now needs to be added. So to work out the amount including VAT, we have 2 options. So VAT inclusive. So if we look back at our formulas, we can take the amount times by 115% or the long method. So we can say 460.86 times by 115%, which will give you 529.989. So now I'm just showing you here, it's important with rounding. Your actual answer is going to be 529.99. Just remember to round correctly. Okay, because if you don't, you don't get your answer mark. Okay, so that's the short method. The long method would be working it out step by step. So we can say the VAT inclusive amount is the 460. Keep wanting to write 406. 460.86, and we times by 15%. This part here will give us just the VAT amount. And then we add it back to the 460 and 86 cents. Okay, so the bracket, the first part gives us how much VAT, and then we add it back to the amount because we need to add VAT to get our total, and you end up with 529.99. So it really is up to you which method you prefer. For some people, the long method makes more sense. Others prefer the shorter method. So it really doesn't matter which one you use, you'll still get all your marks. Okay, as long as you're showing some working out. Okay. Then question 2. An item costs 529.99 including VAT. Determine the original price of an item. So original price is also called the VAT exclusive amount. So according to the formulas I gave you, we take our inclusive amount and we divide by 115%. So our inclusive amount, which was given to us, we divide by 115%. So now we're going back to the original. Okay, and when we do that, we get an answer of 460.86. Okay, now before I move on, nice, Steffi, well done. I've noticed a common mistake when it comes to working out the original price. Quite often, students like to take the amount of 529. Now remember, VAT is in this amount already. It's already included. So most students want to take that amount times by 15%, and that will give you an answer of 79.498. So that basically is 79.50. And then they want to, so then they make that the VAT amount, and then they minus the 2. And that gives you an answer of 450.49. Can you see that gives us 2 very different answers? Okay, so this is a common mistake. Do not do this method. VAT is already included, so we can't times by 15% because now we're adding VAT again onto that. Okay, does everyone understand that? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to try this by yourself. Steffi, yes, correct.
Okay.
Can we move on? Any questions? Thumbs up, smiley face. If you're ready to try your own questions. Good. Nice. Okay. Awesome. So let's start with question 3. You're going to try these by yourself. Don't put the answers in the chat just yet. I'll let you know when you can show me your beautifully correct answers.
Zama in the chat is asking, should we use the method on the left-hand side?
Are you referring to the previous question? This left-hand side over here? Or which question are you referring to?
Zama, do you perhaps want to let me unmute you and then you ask your question?
Okay, I can see some of you are still hard at work, so I'll give you a few more minutes.
Zama, do you still want to ask your question?
Okay, guys, you can let me know your answer to 3A in the chat if you're ready. Yo, didn't skip a beat there.
I am Bonga, so quick.
Okay, so Siwa, I see your answer. Ayabonga. Ooh, I see rounding issues. Guys, check your calculator. What's after that 9? That 9. Solomon, I see you've raised your hand. Do you want to ask a question? Yes, Rose, exactly. There's an 8 next to the 9, so we need to round up. Okay, Solomon, I see you've got a thumbs up now. So if you want to still ask your question, just let us know in the chat. Okay, so let's quickly go through this, and we're just going to recap rounding while we are at it. Okay, so your method seems to be correct, everyone. The shoes cost 79 Rand 99. To get the VAT amount, we get times by 15%. So everyone did that correctly. All right, our answer in the calculator is 11 Rand 9985. So I'm just showing you a few extra decimals. Now, when it comes to rounding to 2 decimal places, we always look at the number that we want to round. Are we rounding up or down? Okay, 2 decimal places means we are looking at the second 9 after the comma. Okay, we look to the right of it. I don't know if you've heard if it's 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. Okay, as you can see, there's an 8 next to it, which means it is above 5, so we need to round 9 up. But when we round 9 up, it becomes a 0, and the 1 gets carried to the next number. Next number is also a 9, which makes it go up to 10, which means the 1 gets carried over to the next number. So we end up with 12 Rand. Okay. So unfortunately, if you did say 11,99, you will get that answer wrong. So it's really important that we practice rounding. Okay. So everyone happy with the 12 Rand and rounding? If not, let me know in the chat if you're not happy and want to ask again. Okay. B, let me hear your answers. Or see your answers. Ayabonga, Siwa, back at it, I see. Zama, I see you're not happy with rounding. Okay, so we'll hopefully get a few more practice with these questions. Okay. Like the next one, we're going to look at again. You definitely need rounding. Okay, I'm seeing good answers. You guys rounded really well this time. So the VAT inclusive price means we need to add VAT to the amount. Okay, so it is 79.99 times by 115%. And the answer is 91,9885. So Zama in particular, because you did mention you're struggling with rounding. Okay, so 2 decimal places means we need to check the 8. That's 2 places after the comma. So 2 decimal places. We look at the 8. Right next door to it is another 8. If it's above 5, that means the 8 needs to move up a number. If it's below 5, it stays at 8. Okay, so because there's an 8 next to it, it needs to go up, so it becomes 91,99. If, for example, the answer was 91,983, still looking at the 8, next to it is a 3. It is below 4, so it would stay the same. I hope that helps. Okay, just a quick little summary on rounding.
Monique?
Yes.
We have Yolisa in the chat saying, I'm a little lost and I don't understand why we multiplied instead of dividing. And then Rufilo says she's struggling.
Okay, so Rufil, where I need you to be more specific. Lisa, I'm going to get you a question now. Kayaletu, yes, you may also do that method, which is what I wanted to explain now as well. So Yuliswa, are you asking about times in for question A or B? But let me just explain both anyway. We times in here by 15 because that's just how we work out the VAT amount. We always have to times by 15. Okay, it's 15% of the value. Of means times. Whereas for B, we wanted the inclusive amount. So we need to add VAT. Okay, because we were given the exclusive. So if we go back to our formulas, okay, the VAT inclusive amount is times in by 115 or the long method. Okay, so we need to add VAT. So according to this one, we could also add VAT by saying 79,99 times 15%, which will give you just the VAT amount, which is your 12 Rand. And then we add it back to the 79. So remember the 79,99 is your original amount. We need to add VAT to it. So we times by 15 and we add it back. Lisa, your hand is up. Do you want to rather ask me? Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi.
Hi.
Ma'am, I don't understand why in the question before we had divided that now in the question we're multiplying.
Okay, so let me quickly just highlight the differences here. So in question 2, I gave you the amount, including VAT. VAT was already in there, and we had to get the original. So we had to take the VAT out. So we had to divide. We've taken the VAT out. Question 3, I gave you the exclusive amount. Can you see the difference of what was given to you in each question? First one, it was included, so that's why we divided. This time I gave you the exclusive amount and we had to add VAT. So it is a little bit confusing. You need to check really carefully what we've been giving you or what we have given you, sorry. Including VAT or excluding VAT. Okay, so it looks very similar, but that is why we times this time around. Okay, cool.
Monique?
Ayavela,
yeah, she's asking why is the answer going to be 92 instead of 91 Rand and 99 cents because of the rounding.
All right, so let's just quickly get another color. Okay, so we're looking at this answer here and you're asking why isn't it 92? It would only be 92 if it was 91,998. It is only our second decimal place that needs to change. Okay, so looking at the 9, next to it is an 8. So obviously needs to go up, which will then make that 9 a 10, which then carries the 1 over to the 9. That's also a 9, so it makes that a 10, and then carries over to our whole numbers. Okay, but because this one was an 8, it just goes up to 9. So we're not rounding the whole number. It just stays as common 9, 9. Okay. Hope that helps.
Are we all happy?
As we go along and we do more finance type questions, rounding will also come into play. So there will be lots of practice, and also practice at school, and just make sure, especially with your teachers, that you are rounding correctly. Especially when money is involved, because we are very strict when we mark decimal places. Okay, so let's try question 4. Keep your answers safe and not on the chat just yet. I'm sure some of you have already done this one though, but I'll give the others a chance.
We have Nzako in the chat saying, ma'am, at school we still use the 14%. Is it going to be a problem during the exam?
Yes, it should be 15%. So it might just be that you're using an outdated textbook, which is normal, because I know a lot of schools haven't changed their textbooks. So you just need to adjust that to 15%. Okay, so please use 15% going forward. Okay, let's see those answers.
Siwa, back at it being first.
Hey, your least were you're one number off. I don't know if you want to just check your calculation again. Nice. Nsako as well. All right, so quickly, whenever you approach with a VAT question, maybe it'll help by highlighting the important things. So they said a new cell phone is priced at 8,400 Rand, VAT inclusive. That means VAT is already in that number. Determine the original price. So now we need to go to the original price before VAT was added. So it needs to be a smaller number. So that's why we divide, because the original will be the smaller number. When we add VAT, we've got the VAT inclusive number, which will obviously be a bigger number. Okay, and most of you did pick up that. We divide by 115%, and you should get an answer of 7,304.35. Zama, why do you get that? Let me quickly check what you possibly could have done. Okay, so Zama, what you did was you said 8,400 times by 115. So you didn't put the percentage sign and you times instead of divide. Okay, but I see you picked it up as well. Yes, well done. Thanks, Sure you picked that up as well. Okay. Good. Looks like you all got that answer. All right. So you are going to try this by yourself as well. Now, a little bit less complicated because it's in neat little boxes, but there's a column for price excluding VAT, the VAT amount, and price including VAT. I want you to try find the missing values. Hopefully not the exact same one.
It's not the same digits, but the same table. So Bikhanto is getting extra practice.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah. It's always good to get extra practice. Okay, guys, so looking at A, we have to work out the VAT amount. We've got the price excluding VAT, so we just take that amount of 3,750 and we times by 15%. Okay, which gives you an answer of 562,50. Then the price including VAT. So there are two ways to do that. We can either say the 3,750 times by 115%. And if you prefer, you could literally take the exclusive price or the price before VAT, and you can add the VAT amount because we have both. So if we add those, it will give you the price including VAT. Okay, so your answer should be 4,312,50, or just another way that you could do it if it makes more sense to you. I did see it being asked earlier. Take the exclusive plus the VAT and you will get the same answer. Nice. Good, guys. Well done. And then C, the price excluding VAT. So you have the price including VAT. So we take the inclusive price, and now we need to make the number smaller because we need the amount without VAT. So when we make a number smaller, we divide. So we divide in by 115%. So your answer should be 2,487,18. Okay, so now D, there are various ways you can do it. So if you did do it differently, that is okay. Just gonna make some more space. It's not. So I'm going to write D over here. So for D, you can take your inclusive minus your exclusive, which is your 2860,26 minus 2487,18, which gives you an answer of 373,08. Alternatively, you could have just taken the exclusive times by 15%. So it doesn't matter which way you do it as long as you get the same answer.
Monique, we have a
Yes,
question from
see that.
Okay.
Okay, so Wakanshaw says, okay, Wakanshaw, I'm going to get to that now. Ayavela, so you're just going to need to familiarize yourself with the formulas, but 15% is when we're just working out VAT, when we need to add VAT to something, okay? 15% is when we want the final answer with VAT added to it already. So 15% is just when we want the VAT amount. When we times by 115%, that is our final amount, so our original plus our VAT added together to get our VAT inclusive. Okay. Then E, and then Bokhansho, I will get to your answer. E is the price including VAT. So again, similar scenario, we can say our price excluding VAT plus our price, our VAT amount will equal E. Or alternatively, we can say 6,299 times by 115%, and you'll get an answer of 7,243,85. Okay. Then, just quickly, there was a valid question being asked. So if we have a look at, I just erased it. This amount over here, the 562,50. Now in your calculator, it would have given you 562,5. That does imply 50 cents. And because it's money, we need to have two decimal places. So you need to add that zero in. If it was 5 cents, it would look like this, 0.5. That is 5 cents. But when the 5 comes straight after the comma, that means 50 cents. And we need to add in that zero because we need to have two decimal places for money. Okay, so that's also a very good question and point. So thank you for bringing that up, and I hope that makes sense. So whenever we're dealing with money and we just get comma and there's one number, add that zero in afterwards, okay? So that is the basic calculations you'll need for VAT. How do we feel about that? Thumbs up, smiley faces. Think you'll be confident when you do it in class at some point?
I'm hoping to see Colgate smiles. hopefully.
Nice. Okay, I'm glad you guys are feeling better. And again, practice is key. So if you're
Look
still
at Ryan.
struggling or if you just want to practice more, please do so. Please look at textbooks, do the extra questions that your teachers don't give you in class, look at past papers. Okay, good. You all look confident. All right. So the next topic is UIF. Who knows what UIF stands for? Oh, wow, you guys had that pre-typed in, it looked like. Well done. Again, I have seen this being asked before in tests. So please make sure you know it because it's an easy 2 marks. Unemployment Insurance Fund. Good. Okay, so you will go through it in class. Good, everyone got that answer. Fantastic. You don't need to know too many details in terms of theory, but I'm just going to go through a little bit of it. So the Unemployment Insurance Fund provides short-term relief to employees who have become unemployed or are unable to work due to maternity leave, adoption leave, or due to illness. You cannot claim from UIF if you are choosing to be unemployed. So, for example, if you resign and you can't find another job, you can't claim from UIF. You either have to be retrenched or have a valid reason as to why you cannot work. Okay. Now, to be able to claim from UIF, you need to just adhere to a few requirements. So all employees who work for more than 24 hours per month must contribute to UIF. Employees need to be registered, but that is your employer's responsibility. So as an employee, you shouldn't have to register yourself. Okay. 1%, that is key, of the employee's salary or their wage is deducted from their salary for the UIF contribution. Again, the employer does this. So before you get the money in your bank account or however you get paid, that UIF is already taken out, just like your taxes and any other deductions. Okay. So before your employer pays you, they've taken this out already. And then another cool factor about UIF is that the employer needs to make an equal contribution on your behalf as the employee. So that means your fund will grow twice as quickly. So let's say, for example, your salary is 6,000 Rand. Your UIF contribution is 1% of that amount. Of means times. So we times by 1%. Okay, 6,000 times by 1%. Sorry. Is 60 Rand. That comes off of your gross salary. And your employer is going to pay 60 Rand on your behalf. So in total, for the month, your employer will be sending 120 Rand to the UIF fund, to SARS. Thanks. Spulelo was a bit slow on that one. Okay, does that make sense? If not, let me know in the chat. Then UIF calculations, very basic, very simple. Employees UIF, so if you want to work out someone's contribution, you take their salary and you times by 1%. Employees salary, so let's say, for example, all you have is their contributions. So I know that I am contributing 55 Rand, for example, to UIF. And if I want to work out a person's salary based on this information only, I follow this calculation. So I'll take the UIF contribution times by 100, and that will give you 5,500. And that's how you can work backwards. Okay, so keeping those two calculations in mind and what I told you about UIF, please can I ask you to try exercise 1, question 1. Okay, if you're ready, you can know your answers. Nice, Summer. Yes, okay. So for A, you would take the salary of 12,345 times by 1%, which gives you 123,45. And then B almost seems too good to be true. The contribution made by the employer. Remember, the employer needs to make the same contribution. And Sako, oh, okay, you just added everything together. Sama, I'm not sure what you did there. Okay. So now I see some of you have added these two numbers together. The question just asked, what is the employer going to contribute? Not what is the total they are going to now pay SARS. Okay, so it's just, we just ask for the 4-5. If they ask, what does the employer pay in total for so-and-so's UIF, then you add them together. Okay, but you guys are understanding. Okay, let's try question 2. And you can let me know as soon as you get it. Fantastic, you guys are getting this. Well done. Okay, so Mbali's contribution is 86,25 to the UIF, determine her salary. Okay, so all we do is take her UIF contribution and we times by 100. Okay, so just a reminder, UIF is 1% of someone's salary. It's just 1%. Remember, someone's full salary is 100%. So because we know what 1% is, to get the full salary, we just times by 100. So that is why we times by 100, because we know what 1% is, but we're trying to work out what 100% her full salary is. Okay, so just so you understand why we are timesing by 100. Oh, Zama, and you just asked that. So I hope that helped. Okay, so we know what 1% is, and a full salary will be 100%. So we take that 1% times by 100 so we can get the full amount. All right, let's try this last question quickly. Mandisa earns 3,800 Rand per month. Calculate her monthly contribution to UIF, B, her employer's contribution to UIF, and C, the total amount paid to UIF. Can let me know your answers as soon as you get them. Nice, Siwa, well done. Good. So for A, we take the 3,800 times by 1%, which gives you 38 Rand. Her employer make an equal contribution. So For C, when she has to pay the total amount, it is 38 plus their contribution, which gives you 76 rand. Okay. Great, guys. Looks like you all understanding the gist of UIF.